Hi, good morning. How is everyone today? I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential, which is your destiny, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. What's going on? We're on Friday in the Illusion Matrix Work Week. Hello, it's October 28th, and yes, I am dressed a little bit as an angel today because Halloween is coming soon. I know it's not till Monday, but aren't there parties out there that we can all attend this weekend and have some kind of celebration? Carve our pumpkins. Hello, hello, hello. It's autumn, it's fall, it's October. There's a lot going on out there. All right, so it's October 28th. And hi, Shelly. Thanks for joining us from Utah. Yes, I know where you're from. I'm looking down at my little list, but you know what? Anyway, so did anyone have any dreams last night? I've been sharing with you that I've been having this dream, a series of dreams where there's this it's a creature that's chasing me. One time it grabbed onto me, my leg, my behind, and it didn't feel painful, but it's always chasing me. And so someone messaged me and said, maybe you should ask what it wants. And you know what? I guess I'll try that next time this creature shows up. I didn't have a dream last night. I hardly slept, but here I am. So today we're going to cover topics like raise your vibration, revelations, supernatural shift. And of course, we'll touch on angels, psychic phenomenon. And so let's remind ourselves to tune into our heart, see how we're doing today, because there is so much going on out there in the matrix and in the illusion. And we've mentioned that as we're rising and ascending, right, to the fifth dimension, we're going to have some kind of ascension symptoms, and we're going to, maybe it's going to come through in, your sleep patterns, your appetite. Maybe you'll just sometimes have bursts of energy. Like yesterday, I had this burst of energy, and I say pull all the energy up from your bottom core and just pull it on out, because we are highly advanced and we're so much more capable than we realize. We have personal power. We were kind of told that, as you grow older, you're supposed to be more tired. Things aren't supposed to be as great for you. However, I don't know if I believe that. I think that as we grow older, we should become happier. Everything should be more wonderful, right? We should be like children and have fun. Let's all try to have more fun. So, I can't eat chocolate. Unfortunately, I was in one of those pharmacies that has all those bags of chocolate with one of my very good friends last night, and she was grabbing bags to give to the trick-or-treaters. Fortunately, I can't eat it. And, after you can't eat something for a long period of time, you really don't even have any kind of, want for it. It was something that I loved. But anyway, so did you tune into your heart? And if you tuned into your heart, were you sensing that, you're kind of going through some kind of metamorphosis, like a butterfly, and you're going to just, create a new version of you, a more interesting, exciting version of you. And it's not going to be that difficult. It just happens like this. And why does it happen? Because our DNA blueprint has actually been activated. And if you're joining us, then that means that you have awakened. Awakened out of that slumber, because you really only thought there was only one way of living. There was only one way of thinking, which was with this big bag of thought attachments, right? You've been giving it life. You've been giving this big bag of thought attachments life, and these belief systems that you did not come up with. Your heart and your spirit know so much more than you realize. And I'm experiencing this. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and write in the chat. And so I've been experiencing some kind of new, energies coming through, and can you hear that? Now I have the lawnmower guy today. That's okay. So, hi, how are you, Liliana from Texas? Wow, We have Shelly from Utah, Liliana from Texas. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today I'm, in a more festive mode. I'm an angel. We know that I speak of angels. And today we're going to cover topics like raise your vibration, revelations, supernatural shift. And of course, we're going to cover psychic phenomenon and we'll touch on angels. Now, so, the reason why I'm so, I guess, focused on, how you're feeling and, what's going on within you, because that's how we actually become more telepathic. That's how we actually can decipher between our thoughts and someone else's thoughts, or information like impression transference from another source. I think for a long time, we've been really programmed, and because we've been programmed, we're used to receiving energies and I guess information, I want to say, energy and information from other sources that aren't us. Maybe it's on the television, maybe it's out in your community, maybe it's in the newspaper, maybe it's on a TV show. And so you believe everything because that's the only thing you know, right? It's the only thing that you know. You only know that you're supposed to have 3 meals a day. You're supposed to make your bed. You're supposed to work for 40 years and then retire 40, 50 years. And then you're supposed to have a few years of peace and quiet. And then you're going to pass away, right? You're going to just pass away. It's so true that it's so constant. Yes, and so we get this barrage. It's literally where you want to put your arms up and say, stop, I can't take it anymore. Of either it's advertisements or it's, crisis, things that we should be terrified of, fear. And you know what happens when we have that? It's like anything. Imagine yourself when you get upset. What happens? You can't kind of think beyond a certain circle of thoughts, right? Your mind circles and circles, and then your body is in trauma. So you're in a trauma state, right? There's that, what is it, that something fight or flight, and you kind of go into that, don't you, when you have fear? And so when you have, let's say you're going out and you're doing your work, you're going out there and you're making a living because you have to, because you're in the matrix and we have to pay taxes and pay everybody all this money to live. There's no such thing as free energy here, like in Tartaria. And some of the inventions that Nikola Tesla came up with. And so you have to do all of that. And so you feel like sometimes like you're beat up. You feel exhausted. And you just don't have, I guess, any thoughts outside of your own. You're just following the path of others, right? You're just in line, getting in line, moving forward, up. And so when you have all this fear information coming at you, like, oh my gosh, this terrible thing's going to happen, this cataclysmic event, or, oh my gosh, this disease is taking over the world and you're going to die, or you're going to get cancer, you're going to have a heart attack. What happens? You're just like, oh, you're scared. You're in fear and you can't help it. Hey, Liliana, it's so true. Yes. And so let's just be aware of that. And let's just try to come from a place that we know we have personal power. We're going to rise up, like I said, from our root chakra, which is at the base of our spine. We're going to bring up that energy up through our system, and we're going to allow ourselves to be ourselves. We're going to love ourselves. We're going to cherish ourselves, and we're going to have fun. And we're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to listen to all those fear-mongering people or beings. I'm going to kind of go on my own path, and I'm just going to see my destiny before me, because there's light down there at that tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, right? Like I say, light on the horizon. You look through a window and you see the beautiful sunrise and the sun coming up from the horizon and the rippling water and the colors, the vivid colors. That's where you have to go to. That's what you have to live in. Like I say, live in the light, because during the tough times, if you're not kind of trying to come above that, you want to shoot high to get here, you want to shoot up here, you don't want to shoot down here, you want to shoot up high. You want to really consider that all your dreams can come true, and every single visual that you have about something that brings you excitement and resonates within you, you want to stick to that image in your mind, in your third eye, because otherwise it just seems so kind of boring, kind of dull. There's no hope. And you can't spend your whole year, your whole lifetime just thinking about one vacation that you're going to go on a year. You have to bring everything through your life, everything beautiful through your perspective. Now, I realize that I've been receiving new downloads and light codes. And so I'm seeing even more so the world in a more light-filled direction. And so let's talk about for a second raising your vibration. I say, oh, you're raising your vibration to a higher consciousness. Well, what exactly is that? Well, we all carry a vibration, which is an energy that we're carrying. It's like it's kind of your essence, and that's what attracts information or people or situations or circumstances to you. So as you raise your vibration, you will be receiving more positivity. You'll be receiving more luck and more opportunities and more of a chance to reach your destiny. Synchronicity will come into play. So you'll have a higher capacity for attracting your truest self. So you have to become more aware, have self-awareness. And that's why we say, what are your thoughts? What are your words? And what are your actions? If you're just arbitrarily going out there and you're not really paying attention and you're actually so distracted by this physical reality out here and you're not tuning into yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to reach your destiny. It's not going to be easy. You're not going to really get those positive opportunities. In fact, you might bring harm to yourself. You might be kind of living in a little bit of chaos or toxic relationships or toxic energies, right? Low vibrational energies, which means that you are kind of in anger a lot of the time and like hate and meanness, and you're sabotaging yourself. You're not hurting anyone else but yourself, because we can't control what goes on out there. We can only control this. So when you're living in low vibration and you don't raise your vibration to a higher consciousness, then you're going to be sabotaging yourself and you won't reach your destiny. So let's believe in ourselves more. Let's have more self-love. And so how are you going to do this? Well, you're going to have more gratitude. You're going to say, you know what? I'm so grateful for this moment. This is a fantastic moment. Why? Well, I'm breathing. I'm here. There's a lot of those right now who are departing from us. I say the survivors are 2022. It's a little worrisome, isn't it? Suddenly died. Did you see that there's this new out on it's being released like November 21st, and it's a film about those who suddenly died and why. Is it the 5G rollout and all of this stuff in the last 2.5 years? What is going on here? And no one's speaking of it. Why? Because it's paid programming. All of those leaders in charge, the elite cabal, they are paying for the advertisers. They are sending the messages down, the trickle down of what's supposed to happen. Yes, it's very crazy. And, I don't want to get caught up in all of that. I'm not saying we should get caught up and suddenly died. Let's be survivors. Let's realize we have personal power. We have love and light within us. So we're going to have gratitude. So we're going to say, thank you so much for this moment. When we can, when we remember, let's remind ourselves to say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited and so much gratitude for this moment, this wonderful, beautiful moment on New Earth Gaia. We're going to share love. We're going to have love for ourselves. We're going to become more generous, more generosity. So if someone needs something and they ask you for it, you're going to give it to them. You're going to allow yourself to share your world with others. You're going to maybe meditate a little bit and do some deep meditation, some stillness and breathing work, some breath work. You're going to allow forgiveness. You're going to give forgiveness to others. You're going to say, I'm sorry if you need to. There's some things that we've done in our life because you know what? We've been living kind of in a really unhealthy environment from the time we were born. Get out of my way. I'm going to get in front of you. That's what everyone did, didn't they? Pushing everyone aside because they said it's about competition. It's about winning. Is it really? Is it really about winning? Because guess what happens? Those winners, are they really ever satisfied? Is maybe that's their personal happiness? I don't know. I mean, there's the right way of doing things and there's the wrong way of doing things, right? Didn't we speak of cause and effect? And we spoke about, chain of events and how, one decision that happens or something that someone says or an action that they have can bring on. Where does that go? Because every action, there's a reaction, isn't there? Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light. And so we are going to consider maybe having a little bit more healthy foods. Maybe consider drinking a little bit more water and eliminating toxins. They say that alcohol is a toxin. From time to time, I'm going to have a drink. Yes, I'm going to have a margarita. And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to eliminate as much as I can, though, but, I'm not going to be doing that every day. So we're trying to raise our vibration to a higher consciousness, so that we can ascend and so that we can all have unity, law of one, right? And so we're going to eliminate toxins. We're going to have gratitude for this moment. Hello, thank you for joining us. And we're going to think positive, because words are like spells, they say. So we're going to have more affirmations that we're going to consider, like, if you're having a rough day, a rough patch, I spoke how this earlier in this week that I was having one, and I really felt like I was in a death hold there, a choke hold, because I couldn't really get out from under what was going on. And that was because I was dealing with my issues. I was dealing with my trauma from my past. Do you have any trauma that you've had? It imprints on you. And so you have to look at it when you ascend. You have to look at everything that happened to you. And it's not by choice. Look, I'm not trying to look at it. It's easier to stuff it down sometimes, isn't it? But then it's going to rise up. Things are going to trigger it. And so you're going to have to look at it. So we're going to try to think positive, which means if things look like they are unbelievably impossible, we're going to consider that the glass is half full or full, completely full. And we're going to say, you know what? Love, nature, light, beauty, right? And we're going to think really positive about what could happen. Let's see if I can get away with the window now. We'll see how long that lasts. And so we're going to drink more water. We're going to spend time in sunlight, and we're going to exercise. And that's how we're going to raise our vibration. You might come back around. All right. So let's consider signs that your vibration has raised. What are some signs? Well, maybe you're more approachable to animals and to children. You might sense that you're more apt to have others come to you that you don't know. And so you say, that's interesting. People are saying hi to me that never did. And that's because you're raising your vibration to a higher consciousness. You're more aware. You're more realizing that it's okay and it's not that corny to live in unconditional love. And maybe you'll have synchronicities in new relationships and they'll be effortless. Things will become effortless. You will be able to manifest your dreams as you raise your vibration. Am I saying it's easy? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's something to focus on. Be aware, right? And so you're going to draw into your life those who have emotions and vibrations and thought patterns that are similar to you, such as joy, peace, acceptance, and you're going to create higher frequency vibrations. It's kind of like a domino effect. as you kind of step into who you are and you accept who you are and you say, you know what, I'm not going to have any doubt. I'm not going to have any doubt about this. Anything is possible. My thoughts are that powerful because they're triggered impulses. Now, you're going to try your best to put your foot in higher vibrations, love, forgiveness, compassion, and you're going to try to step out of lower vibrations like anger, despair, fear. Those will bring lower vibrations for memory, and you'll feel like you're stuck. We don't want to be stuck, do we? We want to get on through our, whatever we want to the next reality, to the next realm, to all the exciting possibilities that are out there. So before we move on to revelations, I want to say that violet light has the highest vibration and the shortest wavelengths of visible light. So negative emotions will bring down your vibration. And I know from time to time, we're going to be in lower vibrations because something's going to happen. Maybe you're going to be caught off guard because you do have, trauma and triggers and issues like all of us have had. And so you're going to feel those for a moment. It's when you stay in them too long, it starts to cause sickness in your vessel, in your health, in your bones, in your flesh, in your cells. And you're going to have a tough time if you're having disempowering beliefs and thoughts. We want to raise ourselves up, okay? Away from lack of spiritual awareness. We want to raise up to a higher vibration through gratitude, through love, through acceptance, through forgiveness, and through releasing toxins from our body. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy. So, I've been hearing a lot lately. I don't know if you have. Not only have I been hearing about those that are just passing away suddenly, I'm hearing about, is there going to be some kind of apocalyptic world that we're going to enter into? Is that where we're heading? This reset, this 2030? What is that exactly? What's going to happen next? Because we can feel this shift coming on, and we're going to speak of this supernatural shift. There is something happening here. We can't pretend anymore. Don't you see it? It's kind of like, what was the event, right? We're all like, do. We're thinking, we're believing that we're living in the only possible reality a few years ago, weren't we? And we're minding our own business, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, there was this illness that took over the globe. The 8 billion, almost 8 billion, I think it's 7.8 or 7.97 billion. It took over. Yes, let's keep it. And so we started to say, and so there was the crisis, right? So we had the crisis. Then we had to do this, which is, that's great for medical, but this thing that covers you is known for satanic rituals. Look it up. Go to DuckDuckGo. What is that? They put that on children. Satanic rituals. Evil. That's evil. Okay? It's not for your health. It's to conform you so that you are a robot, so that you will stay in the matrix and you will follow along like like a child in line at school. And so it came from adults and all the way to 2-year-old babies were supposed to wear these things across their face. Seriously? Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous, right? And so then what happened? We had that. And then everyone, they're talking about death. And if you don't do this and you don't do that, you're going to die. I don't know about that. I don't know if all those numbers were correct, because then they said that some of those numbers were a little misguided, allegedly, right? What was that based on? So there was that. And then we had, moving forward, you're better. No, you're not. Put it back on. Then we had all these rules and some kind of, we had to get permission, a lot of permission. And some people lost their jobs, didn't they? Some people started to lose their jobs because they wouldn't do what they were told. This medicine that they were saying that they were going to give us? The medicine, right? The carrot, the medicine. And so when you didn't do that, you might lose your job. And what happened then? Did that stop you from getting this sickness? No. What was that exactly that you got? What was that carrot that you got? That Kool-Aid that you drank? We don't know. We're starting to see now. Maybe it wasn't what we thought it was. And then we had this 5G rollout. And then miraculously now, people are just passing away. And so I begin to wonder, was that the apocalyptic event? Was that something that was revealed to us? I don't know. So I'm not sitting here saying to you that you should be in fear. Like I say, we should be fearless beings of light. I'm just making you aware and kind of putting the pieces together because I am a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm really a truth seeker. That's what I am. So the Revelations is an act of revealing divine truth. So there's what's called, and I had to look into this because I am not, I know about stories about Jesus, but I don't know about the book of Revelation. But it's the book of Revelation is the only apocalyptic book of the Bible. And it's a series of visions in which Jesus appears to a prophet and tells him what's going to happen soon. So the prophet says he goes up to heaven and sees the throne of God and is told by angels the cause of future history. So are you sensing right now that there's going to be some kind of event that's going to happen, that's going to bring us to a new civilization, a new way of thinking, a new way of living? Well, yes, heck yes, absolutely. There is. Don't you sense it? Now, I said that I was having dreams about a flood. I don't think it's going to be a flood. I do believe it's going to be a cataclysmic event like the solar flash, where white blinding light is going to come upon the earth, the whole entire globe, and everyone will be awakened because evil is terminated now. So Revelation helps us to see the spiritual realities hidden behind the material world. So is there another realm out there? Is there another higher consciousness? Is it a location? No, it's a mindset. And I believe that there's angels that have come, descended, and ascended on a staircase from the heavens to protect us. And so revelation, divine revelation, which means the removal of the veil. Do you sense that there's being a removal of the veil right now? So that something can be seen. Instances of divine something can be seen. Speaking or special divine acts in history. And so I sense that there will be some events that are going to take place in the future, in the near future, that are going to be divine events. And do you know why? Well, I'm having dreams and I have premonition dreams, but I'm also realizing that there's a lot of glitches going on right now. We say glitches in the timeline, glitches with some of these leaders, glitches with celebrities. There's glitches going on, which means that they're not working properly anymore, which is a sign that there's going to be a big event coming. And so this will be a means of disclosure. These events will bring disclosure. Like, for example, the solar flash would bring disclosure because everyone would be awakened to the truth. The veil would be uncovered. Now, I thought about this when I was researching this last night about Revelations, that a few weeks ago, maybe it was a month, I was sharing dreams with you and I told you that I had a dream about the Virgin Mary. And so you know what the dream was with the Virgin Mary? I never shared it. I'm going to share it right now. So I saw the Virgin Mary. It was like she was in a church. I want to say in the center aisle of a church. And she was down on the ground. Now she could have been outside. It was a ground. I'm sure that it was a ground. And she was wearing blue. But then there was a veil, a white veil in front of her, like it was off of her. And so the veil has been revealing truths. and I am a truth seeker. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light, and we're covering Revelations. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for liking the video. So revelations can come through visions, dreams, or visitations by angels. Have you had any visitations by angels? Now, I've spoken about Archangel Michael. That was in my third eye. I know that I'm here. Maybe I'm just a little channel. Maybe that's all I'm supposed to be. It's one person at a time, and that's fine with me. I'm fine with that. I'm good because I'm speaking my truth. And whether you realize it or not, I am a light worker. So my light in this location is meant to be. There's a light grid. So across the globe, there's other light workers in certain locations. Now I'm outside. Hi, Deanna. Thanks for joining us from Michigan. So we have Deanna, we have Liliana, we have Shelly. And so I'm in New York. And I don't know if anyone is familiar with New York, but New York is very, very much about these not giving permission laws. And so they're telling us what we have to do. And so I am like I'm like a little bit of a minority here spiritually. I'm in my truths. I'm a minority. If I was to go out into my community and just stand on the corner and speak my truth right now, I would get some ladies out there who are conformists, and they would say to me, "Oh, shh, what are you saying?" Or they'd run away from me because they don't want me to speak this kind of truth. They're against what I'm saying. So here we have, this looks like a vision. This is a famous painting. And here's some beings of light. And this looks like they're having some kind of divine truth that's coming down, isn't it? So revelation can come through in visions, dreams, or visitations by angels. Angels are beings of light. They come from the heavens. Now, which brings me to an apocalypse. Will there be an apocalypse? Which means kind of like the days of darkness, the ends of the world, the ends of life, Judgment Day. So an apocalypse, we see that in movies sometimes. Yes, I'm dressed as an angel because Halloween is coming. There's my pumpkin. And so I'm here being very festive and fun, aren't I? As I do Living in the Light. So an apocalypse is the destruction of the world. And that's a way to fearmonger us too. Isn't that about, they say, oh, there's going to be World War III. I'm not hearing that lately. I don't watch the news, but I see kind of little drips and drabs of that, like little dribbles, little spit ups of nuclear war. No, there's not going to be a nuclear war. That's not happening. There's not going to be destruction of the world. In fact, the world is becoming a better place as this veil is being pulled, this shift, as this veil is being pulled away from evil, from the hidden, heinous acts, the wicked, right? We're going to start to see the truths, and then more will be awakened. There's some crazy things going on out there. I was saying it's a clown world, isn't it? There's some clowns out there. They're wearing some very bizarre makeup. They're dressing up for children and doing naughty. It's not even naughty. That's too kind a word. They're doing wicked things. They're evil. They're evil beings. And we don't want them around anymore. I'm going to flick them away. Flick, 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 right? We're going to flick away evil. And so this apocalypse, this destruction of the world, by war or natural disaster is not going to happen. There is going to be some events. There is going to be some divine events that are going to happen, like in Revelations, right? The divine speaking we're going to hear. Angels are going to come upon the earth, the ascended masters, those who have passed. And there's probably going to be the golden age, 1,000 years. So an apocalypse is a war, a famine, a conquest, and death. Now, maybe the world is going to take on the fact that it's going to rise up to a new world. Maybe it'll be the death of the old world, and that's how we can say an apocalypse is going to happen. It's going to be the destruction of the Matrix. It's going to be the destruction of this illusion that we've been living in, that there's only one way of thinking, that we aren't allowed to have free will and be sovereign beings and speak our mind and convey our truths. Maybe that's what the destruction of the world that we've been living in is going to be. So the last judgment day will happen. The last judgment day will happen, and that day is the last day of the old world, right? It is going to happen. It might just not happen the way we thought it was going to happen. And it's going to be when God will judge, or the universe will judge, everyone who has died and decide whether they will go to heaven or hell. So is there a heaven or hell? I believe that this has kind of been a hell that we've been living in, and I believe that there is a heaven. So I think that there is going to be a judgment day. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily they're going to go back with who they came from, because if someone's doing heinous acts, then they probably were living in a mental hell to begin with. But there will be a last judgment day. Anyone who's joining us, please write in the chat if you like, or tell me what's going on with you. And why am I bringing up these topics today? Because I'm getting closer to the end, like you are. We are about to have this supernatural shift that's about to come across the planet. It's not going to just be with us, with you and I, here in Living in the Light on this YouTube channel. It's going to be across the globe. Everyone will be shifting. Everyone will see the truth. Everyone will have to make a choice. They're going to have to make a choice. And they're going to have to accept, or they're not going to be able to handle it. Like we said, the grand solar flash, when this light comes across the whole globe, which I think is pretty soon. It's going to happen pretty soon. This light, this white light, is going to come across the globe, right? And this light is going to be blinding. You know, this morning I went down to see the sunrise, and I have to tell you that the light was so strong that I couldn't even look to take the video. I had to close my eyes to take the video. So the sun is becoming stronger. These mass coronal injections, these solar flares that we've been having, we've been receiving, and you know, the Schulman resonance, that machine that tells us the geomagnetic storms that are occurring from the sun, and it's changing. And there was 9 days of darkness where the instrument did not even resonate any kind of information or data. So that's a sign right there. So there are signs. Let's pay attention to the signs. Should we go through some of the signs? We have to say the last 2.5 years, evil is coming forward and showing their ugly side. You know, some of these solar flares, and just this shift, this awakening that we are experiencing. So we must prepare for this. We must prepare for this supernatural shift. And how are we going to prepare? Well, we're going to realize that there's another reality. We're going to realize that we can tune into ourselves and become the best version of ourselves, and we don't have to get permission for our own ideas and opinions. And we don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. We can kind of do whatever we want. We can be those rebels. Not the rebels that create havoc, the rebels that believe there's another reality. And we can begin to love ourselves more and release and get through any trauma or triggers. So a supernatural force, supernatural shift, is some force beyond scientific understanding. It's going to be this supernatural, like something that, you know, we talk about, we've been talking about every day here that I'm here. We've been covering psychic phenomenon. Well, it kind of falls under this. That's where we're headed. We're headed into a world of psychic phenomenon. We're headed into a world of telepathy. And you know, the more we exercise this part of ourselves, more we do these activities, then the more we're going to bring in new energies, and we're going to begin to see. We are going to see ourselves in this physical reality that we are creating, a supernatural shift. So, some force beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature, manifestations or events considered to be a supernatural phenomenon, supernatural origin. Like what we just spoke about, revelations, and like some kind of divine events that are going to happen and come upon the earth. It's not just in that Bible. It's not just some of these stories that we've heard since we were children and movies we've watched where, there's some kind of big cataclysmic event. I don't think it's going to be the destruction of the world where it's going to destroy us. I think it's going to be a new beginning. It's going to create time for a new beginning. Can't you just see the beauty of that? It's like, you're turning the page in a book, or you're just waking up. It's like you're in a fog and all of a sudden everything clears. Isn't that what's going to happen for us? And your memory is going to come right back instantaneously, spontaneously, and you're going to remember that this was not the world that we were supposed to be living in. This has been an evil world. So we're going to see non-physical entities. We're going to see angels. We are going to see demons. They're not going to be sitting around very long because they're in the dumpster. Their terminated timeline. They won't be able to live in the higher dimensional realms. Now, the dimensional realm that we've been living in is very dense. It's very dense. It's low vibrational. It's all about, oh, well, didn't you suffer? Oh, didn't you have that terrible thing that happened? Wasn't that this? It's this world of tragedy. It's this world of hate. It's been this world of anger, this world about getting out of my way. Oh, you know what? I can say something mean to that person if I want to. That's the world. That's not the world that we're headed to. No, it's not. We are having a supernatural shift. It's exciting. Don't you sense it? So, those days that you feel sick, when you come down with an illness and you're really sick and your brain is fogged and your nose is clogged and maybe you have a sore throat, maybe you feel it in your chest, maybe all of your body aches, your whole entire body ache. You're not eating properly and everything just looks like terrible. You look around in your home and you say, oh, everything's just, oh, I feel gross. And then the day that you wake up and all of a sudden you're better, and how all of a sudden all of that fog and all of that yuck and gross stuff that was in your system is gone, how do you feel? That's what it's going to be like. Everything is going to shift. And it's not going to just shift with you and I. It's going to shift with everything. Our environment's going to shift. Our thoughts are going to shift. The creatures out in the world are going to shift. And everything that is divine is going to come and join us. It's going to be like this. It's going to come together. It's beautiful. It's going to be exciting. And you won't ever remember this old matrix, this programming, and these systems that we've been trapped in. You're not going to remember any of that. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video. And so the non-physical entities will join us during the supernatural shift, and then forever, we're going to live longer. We're not going to live just to 80 years old or 70 years old. We're going to live over 100. That's what's going to happen. I've been saying 104. I think that's going to be more common. So you're going to become more of a psychic being. You're going to become telepathic. You're going to be able to do telekinesis, levitation, precognition, ESP. Everyone is going to. Everyone. So this earth that we've been living on with the 4 elements, what's going to happen is we're going to bring in ether, which is beyond the clouds. And it's a certain energy they don't speak about. They don't tell us about ether. Look up on DuckDuckGo ether. Ether is something that they say that they used during the time of the Tartarian civilization, and that's how we had free energy. Tesla spoke about ether. And so it's not going to be just about earth, water, fire, and air. It's going to also be about ether. There's 4 elements not 3. I mean, there's 5 elements, not 4. And so this shift, this move that's going to happen, the supernatural shift that's going to cause us to move one place to another, this change, this transfer, it's going to begin to happen at like lightning speed. And so we are going to realize all of the truths. And some of it's not going to be pretty. And like I say, we need to prepare for that. Maybe some of you out there are aware of some of these criminal acts that have taken place that we thought that everyone was doing right for us and they weren't. And so we're going to have to prepare emotionally. And hi, Tommy, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I'm ready for Halloween, aren't I? And so the shift that's happening currently in the physical world, we've known will crumble. It's going to crumble. And these new energies are going to replace the past world. So be prepared. That's what's happening right now, the supernatural shift. After the solar flash, after some of these, divine events that are going to happen, and we are going to experience it. So a divine shift, a supernatural move from one place to another. We're going to be replacing the worlds that we've been living in. The old world is going to be gone. It's going to just miraculously leave. And we're going to have this new world before us. And we're going to have new thoughts and new beliefs and new actions. And the shift into a reality as we know it will completely take over. Where's my furry friend? Elsa's over here. Can you see her? She's right here. There she is. Elsa. She's right there. She's among the pillows. Yeah, we have to get a costume for Elsa. Elsa, I tried costumes. She's 9 years old now. I don't know. Did I tell you she had a birthday on October 19th, everyone? So Elsa turned 9. I still call her a puppy dog. I call most animals a puppy dog. And I tried costumes on Elsa, but you know what? Elsa didn't like costumes. She's not into costumes. She'd look at me like this, please, like take it off me. She hated it. So, she's not going to really celebrate Halloween like we are, but so let's prepare for this shift. Let's prepare for the shift. Let's prepare mentally and emotionally. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to tune more into ourselves. We're going to know that this is all we can control, right? I mean, is this reality really here? It's my perception. It's my view of the world. We all have our own view of the world. What's your view of the world? It might be entirely different. So is this reality really here, this physical reality? Well, right now, I want to say here, I'm holding this mug. And so I believe it to be. So our reality is going to shift. Our reality is going to shift. The veil is going to be coming over, being taken over. The truths are going to be revealed. And so you're going to have a choice. You're going to have a time to make a choice. And the choice is going to be, are you going to go with good? You're going to go with the angels. You're going to go with the beautiful angels. Like here are these angels saving this person. Or you're going to go with evil. You're going to go with good, or you're going to go with evil. And that is going to be your choice. These beings of light are here to protect humanity. They're guiding us. They're guiding us to our destiny, to love. And so this act of revealing divine truth, revelations, a series of visions in which Jesus appears to be a prophet and tells him what's going to happen soon. Revelation helps us to see the spiritual realities hidden behind the material world. Now, are we seeing right now in the world? Like if you were to go, hey, Ian, you know what, Ian? I'm doing just fine. It's Friday in the Illusion Matrix work week, and I'm preparing for Halloween. You know what? And I don't go like, I'm not into the scary costumes, as you can see. I'm more into having fun with it and, enjoying it. It's for children, right? So I am doing well. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone because I haven't really said that. Wait, what just happened? Oh no, oh no, oh no. There it is. I can't really do this while I'm on. It's very hard to see the screen, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hello, hello. I like your wings. Thank you. I'm an angel. I had a vision of me like being an angel once, and I was just like zooming up to the heavens. So I must have, maybe I incarnated at one time. That's why I speak of angels, because maybe I was an angel. So this supernatural shift and these revelations, and we spoke about apocalypse, the destruction of the world as we know it, not our entire world, not where it's going to be demolished and human life is going to just flatline. No, we're talking about the apocalypse of this old reality and these belief systems that I speak about that are attached to us, that we're cutting off and leaving on the side of the road. That's what there's going to be, a destruction of that world. This new world that we're about to enter into, or we already have if you're in the 5 dimension, and you must be if you're here joining us, right? And so this supernatural shift that's taking place is going to change everything forever. And we're not going to remember this even. Maybe I figure it's going to be within 2 years, everything's going to be completely shifted. I think that this supernatural shift is happening over time. I see that there's a lot of hate out there, and I know that hate comes from injured parties, but then also it comes from suffering. So any of those out there, any beings that you meet and you come into contact with that are sending hate or anger, I say to you, send them love. This evil creature that's chasing me in my dreams with all of these teeth, not last night, but for almost 3 nights in a row, is evil, and it's trying to scare me. So next time I have to turn to it and just send it love. Send it love, and it will just disappear. Like we say that the witch did in Wizard of Oz, and they threw water on her and she went, "Oh, I'm shrinking. That's what will happen to evil. It will shrink, right? We will shrink evil with love, 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 unconditional love, unconditional love. And so let's move on to our psychic phenomenon. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness and guiding you to your truest potential. I've been doing this psychic phenomenon with you, and why? Because I'm driven to do it. It's like I'm intuitively told what the topic should be, what we should do every day, and that's to prepare you, because you're a pioneer. You're one of the first on the timeline, the 5-dimensional timeline. You are one of the first. You are an awakened being. They say more than 10% right now are awakened. And every single moment, it seems like there's more. And how do I know that? Because more people are following me. I'm seeing that on some of the social media. It's not easy out there. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. There's criminal acts. Hey, that is a big cup. It really is. I know, look at this. Woohoo! It's tea. You know what I'm drinking now? So I was drinking for a long time ginger tea, and then I ran out of it, and I found this box of green tea. Let me tell you, green tea is a good thing. However, I wonder if there's caffeine in it. I have to look it up. There's probably caffeine, and that's why I'm sensing that I'm like a little bit more like, whoa, like more excited. But it's a big cup. It's a big cup of tea. So let's discuss our psychic phenomenon, right? And what is that exactly? Well, we're going to have powers. We're going to be able to have, levitate this pair of glasses, or tune into these glasses and know where they're from and know whose they are. We're going to be able to do all of this kind of clair sense work, right? So clair senses are our senses that are coming from a place of I guess, knowing, we could say. We're receiving information from another source. It's knowing. It's an innate power that we have, that we're going to receive through vibrations and emotions, right? And feelings. So the vibration is going to come to us, which is an impression, right? It's going to drop into our brain. We're going to go, whoop, it's going to drop into our brain. We're going to go, oh. Where did that come from? Well, it came from another source. And you're not going to have any doubt. You're going to say, you know what? That's a real thing. Like this morning, I got up. I just had woken up and I went to the ladies' room. And all I kept hearing was mass coronal injections, mass coronal injections. So that was clear. That was clear audience. That was clear. That was my hearing skills coming from another source. And I kept hearing that over and over. What is coronal mass ejections? That's solar flares. That means the solar flash is coming. That was information. That was an impression. Like I say, every impression that you received, write it down. So you know what? That just reminded me. I've got to write that down, don't I? I have to write down that information happened to me. Because that's something I'm supposed to receive. Every single vibration that you receive is meant for you. It's meant for you. Like I say, when you got an email, is it meant for you? When you got a phone call or a text, is it meant for you? Every single bit of information that you're receiving from an outside source to your clairsenses, to your senses, is meant for you. So write it down. There's going to be information. It's like a little bit of a clue. A clue to your treasure. Think of it that way, a clue to your treasure. Because you have a destiny that you're supposed to reach out to. Now, if you don't listen to these clues, what will happen? What will happen to you? Well, you're not going to reach your destiny as quickly. Now, are the clues going to keep coming forward? Yes, but you know what might happen? You might miss the opportunity. So pay attention to the clues. Your psychic clear info will be determined by sensations, impressions, advanced warning, alerts, premonitions, and thought impression, right? Yeah, and you're laughing at me about my wings. So we're going to reprogram ourselves. We speak about all the time how we've been programmed. We're going to reprogram ourselves. And how are we going to reprogram ourselves? Well, we're going to dismiss the old stuff, which makes room in our brain for new stuff. And we're going to, from our own belief system, from our own ideas, we're going to have discernment and we're going to decide what resonates with us. When I say resonate, I mean that you feel like you're drawn to it. So what are you drawn to? Are you drawn to channeling, which means that you're going to receive information from another source? And so a channeler is going to take on, maybe the physical mannerisms of someone else, where they're going to channel, like you're a medium, information. So maybe you're going to channel information from an extraterrestrial, from an angelic, from maybe, someone who's passed. And so when you're going to channel that information, you might take on their mannerisms and their voice. That might be what your clairsense is. That might be what you're receiving. So there's going to be many sounds that you're going to hear. I truly believe that anyone who has clairsenses has a capability to have clairaudient, which means that you're going to hear information. You're going to see in your third eye information. And, is this like a little, I spoke about how I did like bar tricks at times, where I'd go out there and I'd meet people, in a restaurant or something, a woman or a man, and I would show them, like, I'd say, they'd say, what do you do? And I'd say, I'm an intuitive. I can read. Oh, really? Read me. And it was a bar trick, right? It's a bar trick. But, this is not a bar trick. What this is this is going to be the direction that the new world is going to go into. So you're preparing, doing all of this, you're preparing for your next kind of incarnation, but you're already incarnated. So it's a new version of you. It's the most genuine version of you. You have a blueprint within you. You have DNA. Now, they say that only 90% of our DNA or 2% of our DNA was worth something. No, they just said that. That was a lie. It's 100%. So all of your DNA is coming forward. And so it's not going to be these little activities that we do are not going to just be for like a little fun to do. It's going to be our life. That's what's going to happen. Everyone's going to be telepathic. That's where we're going. That's the new, I mean, don't you sense it? And that's why that evil has been like trying to crush us, because they're trying to do things like brain chips. Why? Transhumanism. Because they are trying to still control us. You know, these little chips for ID. But that's ridiculous. Or these medical injections, these things that this medicine that they've told us. And why are they wanting clones and robots and AI? Because they want to own our spirit, our soul. They're harvesting our energy. They're using us to keep their world going. So we have to say, no, guess what? None of that. I'm not going to do that. And get away from me. Just get away from me. That's what I'm ready to say. You can tell I've gotten a lot more passionate about everything I say. I'm going to say, guess what? No, thank you. I'm not giving you permission. In fact, there's no thank you. It's a no. That's what you have to learn to say, no. Hey, Sandra Bullock, who are you? Sandra Bullock. So someone's taken on the name of Sandra Bullock. We know that's not really Sandra Bullock, but you know what? Good for you. Sandra Bullock. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So we have Liliana. Oh my God. Yes, I feel like this too. It's hard for me to see in the sunlight. You know what? Didn't that happen? I went out there this morning and I went, oh my gosh, this is a sign. This is a sign of the solar flash. I thought it was just me. No, it's not. It's true. It's true. It's true. Sandra Bullock. So Sandra Bullock, where are you coming from? Bullock. Stay positive. Even negative talk is low vibration. Yes. Hallelujah. I'm not the actress. I know you're not. You're funny. So we are going to really Midwest. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So you're a little bit cryptic. I get that. Hence the name. And that's okay. So Sandra Bullock, we are here at Living in the Light. We're a community of enlightened souls, right? We are all about living in the light. And today we're covering topics like raise your vibration, revelations, the apocalypse, and not the apocalypse. Thank you. Not the apocalypse that's going to destroy the planet, the apocalypse that's going to destroy this old matrix, this illusion, because it's old. It's old. We don't need it anymore. In fact, we never really did need it. We were just in prison, so we're breaking free. We're breaking out of the prison, this matrix, this mind control, this programming, and we're going to reprogram ourselves. We're going to learn about telepathy. We're going to learn about ESP, and we're going to learn about our clairsenses. So now you're going to be receiving more energies and more frequencies, and sometimes you're going to be confused as you work, and we're going to do some exercises today with our clairsenses, and we've been doing them. And we might begin to have premonitions more. You might begin receiving information. So you know what? I have to share with you that I've been, for years receiving information, and I didn't always listen to it. I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't always listen to it. And I've realized now that everything has value. Yes, everyone is so competitive. We don't care about that. Okay, yes, I'm loving the new earth coming, living in the light, right? This is so exciting. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I shared with you that I had this download the other day, and I believe this was a premonition. And, it was a lucid dream. It was right before I woke up, I think. It was right before I woke up, and I saw these light beings, and it looked like, I don't know if I grabbed a photo, and I didn't. It looked like these light beings, right? They were outlined in blue light, and they were traveling across, like running across my view. My eyes were closed. And then I saw all these highly advanced technological machines, I guess you want to say, or not even equipment. It was beautiful. It was vivid. And the energy that it evoked was so strong and powerful. I said, this is important. I need to take note. Yes. And so you will begin to have more foreboding. The more that you say, I accept this, and I'm going to take away any thoughts of doubt, because we have to have a willingness to believe. We have to make a connection. So we're going to do that in about 30 seconds here. This makes me so emotional. I love it. Yes. And, these energies, what's going on right now, I have to say, we've been receiving artificial frequencies. Now, we're organic, aren't we? We're organic. We have our emotional, our physical, our mental, and our spiritual capacities. We have our heart, we have our mind, we have our spirit. And we are very organic. We are fragile beings of light, aren't we? And we're highly advanced. And so what's been going on since we were babies is that these frequencies that are artificial, they're man-made. They're poop. Okay? And it's been hell on wheels for us, right? These energies and frequencies. Now, it started out with the radio. It started out with the television. Then it went on to the Wi-Fi. Then it went on to our cell phones, right? None of this is good for us as these fragile beings. So this artificial stuff is coming at us, right? And so it's hurting us. And then there's stuff that's sent out into over our heads and our foods. And so all of this is breaking our systems down. When this new earth is completely revealed to us, like the veil, like, woo, it's going to be like this very strong wind that's going to overtake the earth, This light is going to overtake the earth. And so all of this artificial junk, poop, is going to be demolished. It's going to be broken. And what's going to be left? Well, we might just be able to communicate by going out of our homes. And so we're going to basically all tune into all of these clear senses. And so the artificial is going to leave. And so all of the vibration and frequencies that were already naturally there, the organic frequencies, are going to come into play, are going to come online. Are we getting this now? I think the golden children are coming too. I've been seeing them a lot. Yes, all the children out there. That's why they're trying to give the medicine to the children and put this on them. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to depopulate and kill us. They're trying to kill us. We will be able to contact with our minds. Absolutely. And so we are now with this new mindset, we're reprogramming to know that what's coming next. So you are going to survive 2022. You're going to survive 2023. You're going to keep surviving because you're aware. All right, so let's get into impressions that we receive. Have you practiced any telepathy with any friends recently? And that means that maybe you're sitting across from someone. It would be like one of my friends came in. I invited a friend over and I said, hey, I'm doing something. It's kind of fun. Would you like to try it with me? And so I sit across from my friend and I get some paper, get a piece of paper, something that I'm going to be able to write on. And I'm going to say to my friend, okay, I'm going to sit here and I would like you to, with all your concentration, they're going to make contact with you and concentrate, mind to mind. It's mind to mind. And your friend is going to be the sender and you're going to sit there and you're going to You're not going to take in whatever your thoughts are. It's not about thinking. No thinking. Please stop thinking. You're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're tasting, what you're smelling, what you're feeling, what you're knowing. It's all knowing what you're feeling. And so you're going to write down. Your friend is going to send you telepathically information. You got to try this weekend. Please, everyone, try this. So you're going to telepathically be receiving information. Now, when this comes through, this information, your mind, the first time it happens to you, your mind is going to come and try to jump down and stop it from coming through. Be aware of that. And you're going to say, no. Go back up there. I'm not thinking. And tune into what you're hearing, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, and what impressions. Are you receiving a sensation? All of a sudden, do you smell a perfume because your friend is thinking of a memory? Or are you receiving information about someone that they love, or something that they've done, or a symbol, an image? What kind of mental picture? You're going to write it down, because this is going to test your ability. Now, the more you practice this, the better you're going to be at this. There's going to be stages. You're going to become, it's going to come to a height of your ability is going to reach a certain height. And then you're going to say, oh, that's as good as it gets. I'm not going to get better at this. And then you're going to try something else, and you're going to raise your ability, and your ability is going to continue to raise. So maybe when you first do this with a friend, it's going to be difficult, and maybe you're not only going to receive one thing. Like I said, your thoughts are going to come down, and you're going to have to tell them it's going to distract you. So you're going to try to take away any distractions. So it's a process. So that's one thing that I would really suggest you try this weekend. This Halloween weekend that we're all excited about. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and tell me where you're coming from. And so that's one activity. I highly suggest that. Now, you could do the activity that I've spoken about in the past, where your friend isn't even in front of you. Your friend is in another location. And you know why I'm saying all these different choices? Because one of them is going to just work for you. It's personal. Some of them, you got to keep going until you find the one that clicks with you. Which one is going to click into your intuitive abilities? I would do these exercises with my daughter. We send energy bubbles together, the texture and color. It was fun. Yay! So there you go. Shelly's done it. And so you can have maybe someone across the country, someone in another state, someone in your town, but in another home, in your neighborhood. And you can say to your friend, we're going to do this, and we're going to plan it, and we're going to do it tonight. And so you're going to say to your friend, hey, would you do me a favor? I'm trying out these telepathic skills that I have. And would you do me a favor, and would you try sending me information? And your friend's going to say, what does that mean? And you're going to say, well, this is what you do. It's very simple. It's only going to take 15 minutes out of your life. So tonight, 7:30 tonight, will you sit in front of my photo? And will you say my name? And will you tell me something that's happened to you? Maybe it's a story. Maybe it's something you did today. And just repeat it over and over for 15 minutes by saying my name. Hi. And then you're going to say, send it to me at 7:30 tonight. I'm just giving an example. So 7:30 tonight, I sit down with a piece of paper or a pad of paper, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to see, what do I receive from my friend? So I'm the receiver. They're the sender. That's another one. Okay? So you're a sender, receiver. That's 2. 3. This is a way of psychically connecting to someone. Now, this can be done in harm, and I believe that they've done that. But this is something else that you can do. Your friend, you can tell your friend, let's say tonight, we'll say, all right, you ask your friend when they're going to sleep. They say, I'm going to sleep at 11 o'clock tonight. So at midnight, your friend's asleep, it's 11 o'clock, they go to sleep. At midnight, you're going to have your friend's picture in front of you. You're going to say their name over and over again, and you're going to tell them to do something at midnight. So you're going to say, you're going to have their picture in front of you. You're going to say, hello, Joan Smith. It's Mary. Hi, Joan Smith. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I want you to get up, wake up, and go and eat something out of your refrigerator. At 2 o'clock, you're going to wake up, and you're going to say this over and over, for about 15 minutes. And the next morning, you're going to call your friend, Joan Smith, and you're going to see you're say, hey, how are you? And they're going to say, oh, it's so funny last night. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I ate something. So you can psychically connect with someone when they're sleeping. You can wake them up with their picture, their name, and with information. And so I'm sharing with you this because this is what's been done to us. This has been psychic attacks have been done to us this way, where they're sending us information when we're sleeping. Now, I did some investigation on that a while back, and I found that there was the US government had projects that they worked on this kind of phenomenon, psychic phenomenon, and they did do this. And so I don't know if they've done it with AI now or they've done it with people, but it's possible. So be aware. So you can do that in a not harmful way. It's just a way of showing how strong your telepathic skills are. So the knowledge should not be shared. It should be kept secret. If you receive any, I mentioned this yesterday, if there's someone that you start to receive information, you do a reading on them, and it's private information, they're not telling you, you don't share it with anyone. Okay, it's confidential. Okay, so let's try one of these activities right now. So we're going to clear our mind of doubt. We have an inner feeling. Anyone who wants to can join us before we go. We're going to do this today. And we are going to begin by closing our eyes. Let's all close our eyes. My big blue cup. Now remember, you are going to receive impressions, right? So there are going to be emotions, sensations, maybe a mental picture, and you're going to feel as though they're very vivid. There's going to be a certain presence that comes through. As you begin to do this, you will sense and know the difference between your thoughts and information you're receiving from another source, an impression, a thought transference. So right now, you're becoming a mind reader. You're becoming able to do telepathy. And so you must accept that. So we're going to go to acceptance. We're going to have patience. We're going to close our eyes, right? We're going to close our eyes. We're going to clear our mind of doubt. Are you with me, guys? Okay. We're going to clear our mind of doubt. And then we are going to let out a breath. We're going to be in this present moment. We're going to relax and breathe out. Now, if you have to say a word to let it go, we're going to let go of any thoughts before this moment. And we're not going to take any of our thoughts into this activity with us. We're going to leave those behind. Okay? And so we are going to, right now, close our eyes, and we are going to remember the last time we had a conversation with someone. The last conversation that we had before this moment. And we are going to make contact with that person right now. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to let out a breath. We're going to let go of any doubt. And we're going to make contact with that person. Who was the last person you had a conversation with? So when we make contact, we're going to engage with all of our senses. So we're going to basically tune in. What we're going to tune into is we're going to say, what am I hearing? What am I smelling? What am I seeing? What am I tasting? What am I sensing? What am I feeling? And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make contact. Okay, we're going to concentrate making contact with the last person we had a conversation with. This is the activity today. All right, so we're doing this right now. So as we do this, we're making contact. So you're going to tune into that person. You're going to tune into their emotions. Now, this is personal, how you're going to connect with them. You're going to tune into the way they look. You're going to see them in your mind's eye. And you're going to go to that conversation you had, the last conversation you had before this moment. Now, what are you seeing? What are you receiving? What emotions, what feelings, what memories are coming back? Are you gaining any insight from that conversation? Are you seeing things in that situation? What did the room look like, or the place that you were in? What were they wearing? How much can you remember? What is there? What is attached to the thoughts and emotions related to this person? Now, are you remembering anything? I'm going to be quiet for a minute so you can do this. So you're tuning in. You're making contact with the last person you had a conversation with. You're taking away any thoughts. And you're going to remember the conversation, and you're going to tune into your hearing, all of your senses. I'm going to do it with you as well. So we're going to do this for a moment. We're going to do this right now. Oh, my leg. Okay, so what information did you receive? And I'm going to share with you what happened for me. So the last conversation I had was at the gym with the instructor, a new instructor. And so I tuned into the conversation. It was a very short conversation, but I tuned into her emotions just now. And I received that it was her first time doing this, and she came off to us as though she was actually on her game. However, what I tuned in and received about her was during her class, and she was instructing us, she was actually having a difficulty with keeping her normal pace. She was a little faster at times. She was having difficulty trying to manage that. So I got her emotional capacity. I did get that she was very nervous. She didn't show that. I received that information. I did receive that I can tune into it right now. I'm receiving that she was excited to do it. And it was easier after she got going than she thought, but she anticipated doing it. So that's what I received. There's a lot more there. I don't want to tune into her because, that's personal, but I can get into more personal. And so for me, what happens is I kind of memorize the energy with people, and somehow I can see everyone that's in that room and where they were standing. I can see a lot. I can go back. I can do remote viewing for the past. And I can do it for past, present, future. So anyway, so what did you receive? And that was a fun little activity Now, every time we do these, we're actually stretching our skill set. We have a toolbox. We'll say we have like a little toolbox that we're carrying around, right? So you imagine like you have a little belt with a little, maybe it's like a little satchel here. And in that satchel is going to be all the tools that you are able to do. For me, it's that I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I can channel, I can do remote viewing. Um, what else? I can heal. I'm a healer as well. And so you're going to gain your own little toolbox and you're going to build on it. And so when I say that you're going to be able to master one of your clear senses, one of your clear senses is going to be stronger. And we talked about our ionic powers. We all have ionic powers, and that's what's going to kind of level. We're going to hit a certain level with our clear senses. That's what's about to happen. So you're going to hit a certain level, and then you're going to kind of raise your level. And then when you get beyond this, and I believe that this is going to happen after the solar flash, you're going to reach a pinnacle. We'll say a pinnacle of your clear senses. Maybe you're clairaudient. Maybe you're clairsentient. Maybe you're clairgustant. Maybe you're clairempathic. Maybe you're claircognizance. You're going to reach a pinnacle, and then your ionic powers are going to come into play. Now, what are your ionic powers? Your ionic powers are your mind and your life force together. And so that is going to be ionic powers and abilities. For example, ionic telekinesis or nesis, whatever it's called. It's called mind over matter. So you're able to move. It's telekinesis. You're able to move objects. So like I say, you're going to hit a pinnacle. You're going to hit your highest. You're going to reach your highest with your clear senses. And then on top of that, you're going to have ionic powers, which are, you're going to be able to lift up things, maybe levitate in the air, because your mind is going to be that powerful. We are in telepathy school, Earth school here. All of the sudden I felt nauseous and got hot. Interesting. So you downloaded something. So there was something with that person, Sandra Bullock. There was something with that person that you had the last conversation with, and you are actually empathic. So you were receiving their ailments. Now, when that happens, that was, there you go. You just got an impression. You might want to turn your dial down. I say that, imagine a dial. You can turn your senses up and you can turn your senses down. When we open up our heart and our minds and all of our clear senses, our abilities, we're not only going to receive the good stuff, we're going to receive some other stuff. So be aware, like before you go to sleep tonight, be in love, because we have our silver cord that's attached to our chakras and it's out there. It's our life thread, and evil energies can come attack it. And you can have psychic attacks. Okay, so our ionic powers, before we do our ball of light, we're about to do our ball of light because we're hitting an hour and a half. Ionic metabolism, which is like your superpower, your superhero. You'll be able to change your metabolism. Hey, Garrett. I've been getting messages from Ascended Masters. Beautiful. Beautiful, Garrett from Boston, Mass. Wow, we have a whole lot of people here today. I hope everybody likes the video and subscribes to the channel. We have a newcomer. Hello, Bianca. Yes, I've seen them as well, and blue spheres as well. You know what? Now that you're saying that, I think that download that I had, we had Ascended Masters. So Bianca, where are you coming from? I'm Mary. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to Living in the Light. We're all about shifting away darkness and guiding you to your truest potential. Where are you coming from? Liliana, can you have psychic attacks and not remember? Yes, you can kind of feel in the morning like, oh, yes, you can, unfortunately. I had, and I haven't shared this with anyone, So I'm going to say something. I had like these little bites on my back, and I woke up, and it's hard. You don't notice them on your back. So I saw them in the mirror a few times, and it happened to me multiple times. So I don't know where they came from. I don't know what that was, but yes. So that is a poltergeist. That is some kind of evil. And if evil, what I know about evil, when there's demonic attacks or demonic energies, dark forces, if they're that strong to kind of come into our physical reality and move or do something, like if something evil, you want to stay away from that, is my suggestion. Because when I did house clearings, and I had psychic demonic beings that I engaged with, and they were able to um, turn equipment on, and they were able to move things and scratch into furniture. Those are very, very powerful demonic forces. So like whatever bit me on my back was very powerful. And I sense that whatever that was is gone. However, it happened off and on for like 2 months. Liliana. Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I wake up so tired in the mornings, and I feel like I've never. Well, you know what could also be happening, Liliana? What could happen is you could be battling in the astral realm. And so that was happening to me for a while. So before you go to sleep again, I'm going to say try to be in love as much as you can, in light and positivity and higher vibrations, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Yeah, that kind of stuff happens. It's so weird because it really didn't even scare me. I just put like Aquaphor on it, because it was like about this size, and it kept happening over and over again. Like it would heal and then it would come back. And I think it was some kind of evil attack. So just be aware. And, I am preaching, I am speaking of love and angelic beings. And so we are in a spiritual war. We have been in a spiritual war, and it will continue probably until the solar flash completely covers the earth with light. All right, so let's do the ball of light. Let me just run through this quick before I do the ball of light. So the ionic powers are your mind and life force, which is going to be on top of your clairsenses, which it's a whole other level. It's like superhero level, right? Levitation, teleportation, telekinesis, telemetabolism, or psychic portation, teleportation, and matter. I think I did psychoportation the other day, didn't I, with my ball of light yesterday, where I was in the World Fair. Thank you for that. It makes so much sense now. Really, I'm making sense. That's a good thing. I try to make sense once in a while. All right, so let's do the ball of light, because it's time for me to go. And I'm so happy that we were all here today. And anyone who is joining us now, we spoke about raising your vibration, revelations, the apocalypse, and the supernatural shift. So we're rubbing our hands together. We're taking it away from our body. And when I do this, it's because we're strengthening our concentration and our focus. Okay, so we're rubbing our hands together, and we're taking them apart, because we rub our hands together because we're creating energy, right, on our palms. And then when we take our hands apart, hopefully you feel some kind of energy on your palms. Now, sometimes we feel it a little bit more. Now, I'm feeling a little tired right now because I really didn't sleep much. I think I only slept 3 hours. And so it's a little weaker. It might be a little weaker. Everyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so now, yesterday, what did I do? I imagined that I was outside with the ball of light, and then it took me to teleportate. I had teleportation. I went to the World Fair, and it was, I don't know, it was in the 1920s, I want to say, 1900s. I have to look that up. I never did any research after that. All right, so we're going to do something different today, because I believe when we try different different strategies. It's going to just work. It's like a muscle. We're working different muscles in for our toolkit, for our toolkit, for our clair senses, for our psychic clair phenomenon. That is what we're doing here on Living in the Light, aren't we? Okay, so here we have our bowl of light. We're bringing light onto the physical realm that we're in right now, present, right? And so what are we going to do right now? So let's imagine, I just came up with something. Let's imagine that the ball of light is in our hands. We're going to add to it. The ball of light is in our hands and we're outside. So you're outside wherever you are, and the ball of light is going to grow larger and larger until it's so large you can't hold it anymore. So let's see if we can stretch. We're going to concentrate. We're going to connect with this possibility. So the ball of light is this size, right? Here's the ball of light. It's like little smaller. It's smaller than the pumpkin. So it's going to grow so large, right? We're going to imagine that it grows large. We're not going to have it grow because then we're going to lose the energy in our hands. So if you did that, then start over. Okay, so here we are. We're working on this together. So this ball of light, we're imagining ourselves outside with this ball of light. Ooh, my hands got very strong. And we're outside with this ball of light and it grows so large that we can no longer hold it. And we're going to imagine that the ball of light grows to 6 feet by 6 feet. And that's what we're going to do. And let's see if we receive any impressions. Let's see what happens. I'm going to be quiet right now. We're going to try this together. You're going to concentrate and you're going to connect. You're going to see this in your third eye or whatever way is possible. Maybe you close your eyes. You're going to take away any thoughts and you're going to tune into your senses. Okay, so I'm going to share with you what I saw. So as the ball of light grew larger and larger, I started hearing this man yelling, and it's the same man that was there before. My ball of light is actually landing in this man's home, in this man's space, and it was like he was underneath it. He got very angry at me. And he said, "Where are you? Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." And I said, "Where are you from?" And he didn't have an answer. He said, "My home." Because he's a spirit. He's not he's passed. So let's see if I can ask him anything, because he's gotten angry with me before because I've been there. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute and see if I receive any other information. So he's telling me that I'm disturbing him and that he needs peace. That's his home and he needs peace. So wherever this is, what I'm gathering the location is it's actually this sounds like a strange comment, but I sense that I'm inside, but I'm outside at the same time. So let me see if I can understand why that is. So this man. Oh, I'm getting pain in my right ear. Wow, like bad pain. So I immediately saw birds, so there was outside, but then I'm getting it's not outside. So I don't know if he, something, let me see. I'm going to try really to hear, see what I sense. Now I'm getting a ringing in my ear. Okay, so now he's asking if I would like to join him in his home. So again, this happened last time. He was very angry with me and then he was warm. So he seemed to be someone who is used to being alone, and on the outside he's angry, but then he is someone who is, or was someone who is gentler, but it's just his first reaction is bad. So that's what I received. Did you receive anything, anyone? I'm putting my hand together. So let's see, Liliana. Let's see if that's the first one. Wow, I'm so sorry. Thank you for that. I got a location that I got taken back in time. I got medieval times. I got Greece in the year 1887. Wow, Liliana, good for you. Good for you. Liliana, a ball, a palace. That's what I got. Wow, good for you. So Bianca is from New Jersey. And Bianca, you know what, Bianca? I lost my ball. I got on late. You know what, Bianca? That's okay. You know what? You can watch the replay if you want, and I'll be back again. I will be back again on Monday at 11. Now, if I'm not, I'm going to change it in the description and say when I'm going to be starting, because I'm starting this job because I have to pay my bills. I live in the Matrix. You know, my physical right now, we're in the Matrix, but I'm just going to share with you that I'll be back Monday. Either it's going to be at 11 or in the evening. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So today, I just want to acknowledge everyone who joined us, and I'm wishing everyone have a wonderful weekend. So Bianca from New Jersey, Sandra Bullock from the Midwest, Deanna from Michigan, Liliana from Texas, Shelly from Utah, Ian from Liverpool, UK, and did I miss anyone? Garrett from Boston, Mass. Anyone else I missed? I don't want to miss anyone. You know how I am. I said Ian, I said Garrett. Oh, Tommy from the country. Thank you so much for the enlightenment. Well, I am sending everyone love and light, and so is Elsa. And I'm wishing good things for you. I'm spinning light, and you're in the middle of it, and you're making a wish. And so let's try this weekend to practice some telepathy, because we have to improve our skills. We have to get better and better. It has to be like easy breezy for us, right? We're going to work on our telepathy, our ESP, our mind reading, and our 5 senses, okay? And everyone have a wonderful day. Be well. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel, everyone. Bye. Definitely going to practice. Thanks, Mary, for interesting. Take care. Thank you, Mary, for your time and energy. I appreciate you so much. Thanks, Liliana. Much love to you. Everyone have a wonderful day. Bye, Sandra. Bye. I'm going to just write bye. Bye, everyone. You guys are awesome. Thank you, community of Living in the Light.